A lot of people, especially our scientific and logically minded people, think that the law of attraction and manifestation and other kinds of teachings are a mystification of concrete principles like goal setting and micro goal setting, habit formation, the workings of your reticular activation system, which is in your mind, and other such things. And I am positing to you that it is actually the opposite. Science, logic, reasoning have come in to explain what has already been known for ages and encased in the laws of the universe, manifestation principles, law of assumption, and other laws. You could find lists of them on the internet if you care to research it. But I want to put this to you. If you believe in the power of goal setting, habit hacking, and even self-fulfilling prophecies, if you know that if you expect something bad to happen, chances are something bad will happen. If you even believe in optimism versus pessimism, and whatever you believe, whether the glass is half full or half empty, that's what you will see. If you've ever decided to buy a red car and all of a sudden you start seeing that exact same red car on the roads and byways as you go through your day, then you are already in the world of manifestation. So don't let the words that I'm about to use put you off. And more importantly, if you're someone who's leaning towards embracing this world of the laws of the universe and needing to find out, how does that fit with my religion? How does that fit with science? How does that fit with logic? How does that fit with how I've been taught to think? If you're that person who's kind of in that crossroads or in betweens, you're not alone. I was there a few years ago and I've made perfect peace. Now, you're listening to somebody who was raised in a very strict Christian denomination, went to Bible college, and even traveled the world as a missionary. So I get the seeming apparent dilemma that you may have between these principles of manifestation and you are the God of your reality versus a religion that you may have been raised in. At the same time, I'm an attorney. The logic and the reasoning and the analysis comes with the territory when it comes to me. And similarly, I was at a crossroads between, well, what's the concrete basis for this versus the airy-fairy just principles of manifesting? So whichever camp that you may fall into, or if you're at the crossroads, you're listening to the exact right video for you, because I'm going to present it in such a way so that you can slowly incorporate some of these principles without needing the nitty-gritty scientific explanation that goes behind it, so that you can just apply it to the goal that you have in front of you and start moving forward in your life already. A lot of people are held back because talk therapy is about talking. And even if they incorporate some CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, in there, you might see some movement in your action, maybe a little, but without addressing the subconscious mind, how you think and feel about yourself, the identity that you embrace, who you think you are, basically. Without addressing that, those outward actions are like trying to crazy glue the fruit onto the tree branch, as opposed to letting the fruit naturally grow out of the tree. So if you change on the inside, your outside will change. At the same time, when you change on the inside, you start seeing the world through different eyes. You literally change the glasses you're wearing, so to speak. And with those new glasses, you're able to spot opportunities that you wouldn't have spotted before. With your new way of thinking, because you are a different person, you will go for things that you wouldn't have gone for in the past. You'll see yourself as a person who easily affords X, Y, and Z. You'll see yourself as a person who easily follows through on your task list. Whereas maybe yesteryear, you saw yourself as someone who's unreliable and never finishes what she starts, which is a very discouraging way to see yourself. But stop and think right now. If you have a problem with a goal that you're not achieving, what is your self-identity? How do you see yourself as? Do you generally see yourself as the person who cannot follow through, for example? Find what that hurdle is and ask yourself, who do I see myself as in this instance? Then flip it. What's the opposite of that? I am the person who sits down and studies every time she needs to study. I am the person who ends conversations so that I can get to my tasks. I am the person who feels just fine, who feels loved and accepted as I am, so I don't feel guilty ending conversations, saying no, enforcing boundaries in order to get to my tasks. Now, this is the nitty-gritty way of getting to the same end of what I'm about to show you through the manifestation end. On the manifestation end, what you would do is go into a quiet and meditative state and allow yourself to imagine going to your desk, sitting down and studying with a carefree heart, feeling proud of yourself for following through with that. And on the manifestation end, you would continuously visualize that. You would allow yourself to see that picture of you effortlessly going to study. Day, noon, night. Just let that picture come to your head and feel the feeling of pride and peace and calm going towards your studies. It does the same thing, except you're working from the end backwards. And your subconscious mind ends up doing the work for you, which is the huge difference, which is why bar prep, passing the bar can be effortless, barring the effort that it takes to get into that meditative state and actually conjure up that picture. Bar prep can be effortless versus a series of mini goals that you have to stay persistent and consistent in order to meet the big prize, maybe. The effortless way involves your mind changing from the inside out, going to the end. What do you see yourself doing? Sitting at my desk, peacefully, happily studying. And you've given your subconscious mind a command. And now it goes into action to take care of all the things that might be standing in your way between who you are today and who you are as a person effortlessly studying. Now, if you want an easy way to get yourself into that frame of mind, I point you to the below. I've actually linked a meditation of mine for free that I encourage you to download and have on your phone so that you can press play and get into the visualization of you going to study in an effortless way. Now, the command given to your subconscious mind now causes you to notice things that you wouldn't have noticed before. For example, after doing the meditation for a day or two, you may be scrolling on Facebook one night and see somebody's post about boundaries. And it catches your eye and you pose on it and you read through it, and it really triggers something in you. And you say, you know, I want to dig a little deeper in this. Maybe this person happens to be a coach, for example, and they had a link for you where you could learn more. So you click the link and you dive deeper into this idea of boundaries. Next thing you know, books that you come across, or maybe there's a book that was long forgotten on your shelf, people that you speak to, even, I don't know, passing commercials on TV might reference boundaries. Now, to the unconscious mind, if you're not paying attention, you might think that you just went off on a tangent during your bar prep time. You know, let me buckle down and study instead of scrolling Facebook. But what's actually happening is that because you've given your subconscious mind a command to have you peacefully, happily studying on a regular basis, your subconscious mind, knowing what hurdles stand in between you, where you are today, and where you need to be in order to study that peacefully, has started to bring up the information that you need to consciously digest in order to make those changes. And even if you're not conscious of why you happen to pause on this article about boundaries and read it through from beginning to end, even if you're not conscious about why you're doing that, your subconscious mind knows exactly what it's doing. helping you to retrain the programming that caused you to have loose boundaries to begin with. You have to get the information in from somewhere. You were first trained when you were between the ages of 0 and 7. And your subconscious mind knows that in order to get to this new goal, you're going to need to be retrained. And it moves you effortlessly, really, because you're just inspired to pause on this thing that you were scrolling past. It moves you through the steps you need to take to become that person you're visualizing yourself as. So really and truly, all you have to do is go to the end, visualize your end goal on a repeated basis, and feel it. Don't just think it with dry, academic, angle that we would often take as attorney types. Get into your feelings about it. This is how manifestation works. And this is the inside out sort of path of goal accomplishment, as opposed to getting out your spreadsheets or your Trello boards or your whatever it is that you use to map out your steps from A to Z and efforting your way through each and every step. The quote unquote manifestation step gets you there faster. And if you want to get started on just the mini goal, the milestone goal of getting to your studies effortlessly and with peace and grace, then look below for my study meditation that will give you that guided visualization to practice, to get your mind to practice being that person who just effortlessly gets to your studying. And I'll see you in the next video.